Hello everybody, this is Ilona V from Blissionaires.com. Here are some of the biggest and most common time wasters of our time. Number one, the inability to say no. This is something that will take some cojones, some balls, some guts in the beginning, but it's a skill just like anything else, and you can develop it. It's the ability to say no to many, many, many things. In fact, what Warren Buffett has famously said is that he says no to almost everything. So, because this is a skill that you can develop over time, first of all, what you need is to think in your head what are your priorities, or even better, mark them on your calendar. And when somebody invites you, you can consider this invitation or a meeting and think if it's really necessary, how productive it will be, and especially how much of your precious time this will take. When you say no, studies have found that when you couple your no with the word because, for example, I can't come because I have something else in my calendar at that time, this one small word, because, is very persuasive, and typically people do not challenge the validity of your because, that why that you have. So develop over time the ability to say no to most things, and in the long run, this will save you days, months, and even years. Number two, the lack of systems in your life. Once you set up certain systems in your life, you don't have to think about every single action that you have to take throughout the day. When you have systems in place, you have already created this mechanic kind of machine, and you just basically follow these rules that you have created for executing any mundane task. For example, take clothing, getting dressed up in the morning. Once you create a system for which clothes you're gonna put on the next day, or even better, the whole next week, you will save a lot of time in just that you have planned beforehand and possibly already even selected these clothes. This is something that I do every day prior to the morning. Sorry about my English, but I never decide on the same day what I'm going to wear. I have already decided the previous day what I'm going to wear. And one of my friends actually suggested this great thing that you can just color code your weekdays. For example, you wear gray on Mondays, red on Tuesdays, green on Wednesdays, and so on and so forth. So when you have these base rules in place, that already solves the thinking work and saves a lot of time every single day and every single week for days and months and years to come. The same principle of setting systems in your life is really applicable to anything in your life. For example, cooking. You can cook in bulk. When you go to the store, you create your shopping list, your grocery store list, so that you can cook everything for the upcoming, let's say, 4 days, and you don't have to worry about cooking. This is something that, for example, a lot of people in the fitness industry do, and it is really a time-saving thing when you don't have to go to your stove like 3 times a day. And systems can be really applied into anything in your life. All you need to do is think about your everyday routines where you could set up these systems, and then just think like, what is the most efficient action to take to set up these routines and make these systems a permanent part of your life. And number 3 on the list is the notorious procrastination. Probably most of us, if not everybody, is guilty of procrastination in some point of their lives. And this is just a habit which you can kick. There are some mechanisms that you can set up in your life to kick out the procrastination. I will give you some very useful links down in the descriptions that you can have a look at. Procrastination is just basically taking and eating up your energy, your mental capacity. You're thinking about these things that you should do all the time until you really do them. So as Brian Tracy said, eat the frog first. So do those things that are the most uncomfortable first, and after that you can focus on the tasks that are easier to accomplish. And number 4 is disturbance in the form of notifications. I have turned off almost all of the notifications off in my phones. What I have is SMSs. I do not have WhatsApp messages coming on my laptop. I have switched off Skype messages, email notifications. Although I love YouTube, absolutely love it, and spend actually a lot of time learning and listening to YouTube material and content, I do not have any notifications from there either. The only things that I have is really my alarm in the morning and also these SMSs. These really distract your ability to focus on one task. If you want to imagine yourself as a horse with these flaps here, I mean, if you have notifications going on here and there and everywhere, how can you expect yourself to go into that flow state, to have a deep focus when you have a notification going off every now and then? So consider really selecting the apps that have the your permission to send those notifications on your screen all the time. And finally, number 5 on my list of top 5 time wasters is perfection. I believe that progress beats and tops perfection any day, anytime. When I started this channel, I really wanted to strive for perfection, but I knew that that wouldn't have been a realistic expectation if I want to keep up the pace of publishing a video every day for the first month. There would have been no way of making this happening. So it is very important that you always let go of those expectations, if you have them, to be perfect. It doesn't pay off at all. It's much better that you take baby steps, a little bit of progress, however unperfect or imperfect it is. But still, you're taking these baby steps every single day, every second day, or whatever your interval is. But the main thing is that you make progress. A good example of perfection is Stephen James, the founder of the project Life Mastery. And Stephen tells us in one of his videos that when he created his first ebook, this project took him about 1.5 years. And nowadays he tells us how he can create a whole book in about 24 hours. So he, like, now that he, goes back in time and thinks about how it was like to create this very first book and how it took him an insane amount of time and energy, he just laughs at the whole memory and the whole experience of spending 1.5 years of his life to create this one book. And now that he looks back to that book, he doesn't even think that it was so great. So the same applies to my channel. If I want to release one video each day for the first month, and that is indeed my goal, I cannot think that I will have every video like absolutely perfect. I'm basically thinking like, oh shit, like, is my English great, or can people understand me? But I cannot think that I have to be perfect, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to release these videos. So really, progress over perfection. Striving for perfection is a huge time waster and not worth your time at all. So these are my 5 top time wasters. What do you think? What are your worst time wasters? These are basically just principles. I didn't mention anything like social media or office butterflies or any specific examples. You're very welcome to comment and let me know what do you think about these 5. And if you would be interested in starting to apply systems in your life, or to, you know, tone down the notification number or the amount that you have popping off your screen every single day. And if you found this video helpful, remember to like this video and remember to subscribe, click on the bell, and see you tomorrow. Take care.